I've messaged my mum and dad before fights, and I do it in quite a funny way. I'll be like, this is going to be so bad. Like, I wouldn't watch it. Like, it's going to be really bad. And they'd be like, oh, don't say that. And I'd be like, look, no matter what, know that win, lose, draw, whatever happens, I'm going into this fight and I'm having the best time I could possibly have. And I suppose my team and my friends and my family all know that that's where I want to be. Being in that cage is where I want to be, and no matter what the outcome, no matter how the fights go down, I think they're just going to be proud that I'm doing what I like, doing what I love.
What's going on, fight fans? We have a new Irish prospect. It feels like it's been forever since we've had a truly promising UFC Irish contender. Today, we will be bringing Ian Garry into the spotlight and looking deeper into what he's got. But first, if you enjoy the content we're creating, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can also find us on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and, of course, Spotify. So, let's get right into it. Born in Dublin, Ireland, Ian Garry began his MMA career in Cage Warriors, both professionally and as an amateur. Cage Warriors is a promotion that is the proving grounds for most European fighters. There are other talents that come from other countries, but the majority of the fighters that come through Cage Warriors are European. Ian won the Cage Warriors championship at welterweight against Jack Grant, get this, without his team. He was removed from the team and took the fight anyway. He stands at 6'3", which is really tall for the welterweight division, by the way, and fights like a long, rangy fighter in there. He's coming off a first-round KO over Jordan Williams. It was in the last second of the first round that he started off losing. He's only 23 and had to shake off those UFC nerves. He was inspired by none other than Conor McGregor himself, the pride of the fighting Irish. This is an image of Garry here when the suit shop that he worked at was visited by his hero.
Yes, we just shocked the world. The Irish are back, baby. It's the biggest stage on the planet for a fighter. Show me I'm fighting in the most historical venue in the world. McGregor, Ali, Mayweather, Pacquiao, everybody's fought here. And now Ian Garry's fought here. We did it, Joe. You did it. I have a lot to learn. I'm 23 years of age. We're going to be a world champion. We are taking over the division. Joe, a wise Irish man once said before me, he stepped in this very cage and he said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over. And this is the takeover part two. Good luck to you, sir. Ian Garry, ladies and gentlemen.
He actually said that he didn't just want to be a stand-up fighter. He says that he wants to be the perfect fighter with no holes in his game. And he does have some smooth grappling, and he uses it well to mix up his stand-up and stay unpredictable. I don't think it'll be a strong suit by any means, but he shows that he is not a one-dimensional fighter. In his fight with Mateusz Figlak, he shows off a beautiful rear naked choke. He goes for the body lock, then takes the back of Figlak and pulls him to the ground. From here, he attempts to get both of his hooks in. His opponent does a good job of preventing one of them, but he gets his right hook in and actually transitions it to wrap up a body triangle. This hurts, guys, especially when you are face down. But with that body lock, he pulls Figlak back to extend his body and fits in that rear naked choke, and that is lights out, ladies and gentlemen. In his fight with Jack Grant, we see some more wrestling and jiu-jitsu displayed from Garry, where he has Grant, the more accredited grappler, in sprawl and attempts to wrap up a Darce choke. Garry was trying to pull Grant down and use his legs to either gain control of his body or his leg to strengthen his position with the choke. He ends up getting control of his leg, but credit to Grant, man, that dude is tough as nails, and it's impressive that he survived this because this was tight. He is very long and fights like a sniper. He mixes his head kicks in really well with his combos. He has a long and probing jab and is pretty good at managing range. Look at this clip from his fight with Rostem Akman, a former UFC fighter. Garry lunges in with a powerful right hand feint to straight from orthodox and posts for that head kick. Such a beautiful combo for a beautiful highlight reel. He has a snappy jab and throws punches to the body. He's great at fitting knees into his combos as well. He really likes to throw the 1, 2. He'll even throw it out like he's spamming it in a video game. That being said, he does have a solid 1, 2, especially his straight from either stance. In his UFC debut, he knocked Jordan Williams out cold with a vicious straight after Williams overextended with his power straight and tried to double up forward with the left hook. He throws some devastating leg kicks, some of which will actually take the base of his opponent away. He actually finished Matteo Seglia with a question mark kick after conditioning him the whole fight with those leg kicks were a threat for Seglia. He does have a bad habit of keeping his head high and backing up in straight lines and misreading his opponent's footwork and getting caught because he likes to pull on punches. So let's take a closer look. Ian Garry reaches for the jab as his back is close to the fence. His jab here is a little high, but he's only 23. He had the UFC jitters, but Williams slips the jab and throws a wide left hook. Williams then doubles up with a Superman punch. It was kind of a mix between a left hook and a straight, but he found his mark on the chin of Garry. Notice here how Garry is trying to pull on a punch with his hands down while backing straight up, and his back is against the cage. This is something that he needs to work on if he's going to keep up with the top 10 of the welterweight division. Fortunately, he shoots across to the opposite hip of Jordan's incoming left hand to relieve the pressure and reset the stand-up. Now, this is the most redeeming thing about his defense, right here. If he can use this as one of his escape routes, it will make it much harder to finish him, even with the best of the best. People I'd like to see him fight, I think the UFC should build him up nice and slow. My ideal matchup would be Phil Rowe. Rowe is a very solid fighter, and I think it would be a good test for both men to see where they are at. Both have potential, and both are fairly well-rounded and compete as multi-dimensional fighters. Other mentionable names that would be fun matchups, Impa Kasanganai, Kanan Song, Mickey Gall. That Mickey Gall fight would be great for namesake, since Gall is widely known as the man who beat CM Punk and Sage Northcutt. His future is wide open, though, and there are lots of fun and exciting matchups for him at welterweight. With that, I will go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on the future Ian Garry. I'd like to thank everyone for entering the Kumite with us here today. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, guys, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.
Shit went fucking sideways. Oh, this was a tough camp. I tore my knee midway through the camp. I've had 3 weeks of camp. I showed up. I had no team by my side. I was here on my own. It was me, my mentality. I'm a fucking world champion. I love you. I love you. Yeah, I'm just emotional. I love you. I love you. I love you. I did it.
Hey guys, quick shout out here to Curly Top UK for the emotional segments displayed throughout the video. We really urge you to watch the full documentary. We'll leave the link down in the description. It's on YouTube and is actually completely free to watch. So go see the video for yourself if you want to take a deeper look at the life of Ian Garry.